Helm defines asexuality as having a very low or absent interest in sexual activity or sexual connection with another individual. In other words, asexuals, or aces as they prefer to be called, are people who do not experience sexual attraction. There are many different types of asexuality. It is, as many things, a spectrum, but in its simplest form, that is what it means to be asexual, someone who does not feel sexually attracted to other people. In recent years, as the terminology surrounding the asexual community has become more mainstream, more and more people have been identifying as asexual. But despite this, there is very little asexual representation in mainstream media. Not only that, but what little representation does exist is often severely lacking, spreading potentially harmful misinformation or stereotypes. In a 2018 study on the lives of asexual people, one woman described her first experience with seeing her own sexuality represented in the media. I think it was Grey's Anatomy, and there was a character who came in and he said, "I don't have any sex drive. I'm not attracted to my wife, I'm not attracted to women anymore, I don't want to have sex." As a 15 or 16 year old, I'm starting to become aware that I'm a little different, I guess, from everyone else. I'm starting to think, wait, is there a word for me? For people like me, is this a thing? Is it okay to feel the way I do? Turns out no, he had a brain tumour, so I was pretty freaked out. Many aces feel very strongly that becoming aware of accurate terminology surrounding the asexual community can help people understand or come to terms with their own asexuality, which means accurate media representation of asexuals is incredibly important. So where exactly should we look to find that? Todd Chavez is a character voiced by Aaron Paul in the show BoJack Horseman, a Netflix original animated series about a talking horse living in Hollywood. Sorry, Hollywood. Despite its unusual premise and often bizarre sense of humour, BoJack Horseman has received widespread acclaim for its realistic and hard-hitting takes on issues such as depression, addiction, and most relevant to this video, sexuality. In episode 12 of the show's third season, Todd describes his sexual identity as
nothing.
Then, in season 4, episode 3, he officially describes himself as
Asexual.
Asexual what? Dynamo? Deviant? Harassment lawsuit waiting to happen?
This was, for a number of people, a huge step forward for asexual representation. But why should that step be taken in BoJack? Well, according to the show's creator, Raphael Bob Waksberg, why not? We have a character who's a talking horse, we have a character who's 3 young boys stacked on top of each other under a trench coat. Would an asexual character be too much for our audience to handle? It feels like no, they're going to go with it. Bob Waksberg has always been determined to provide realistic depictions of all the serious topics the show tackles, and Todd's sexuality was no exception. At one point, he had an asexual woman come in to speak with the writers about the kind of representation that she wouldn't want to see. So one of the things that she told us is that she's tired of seeing asexuals portrayed as these childish characters, so immediately there I went, oh boy, we're in trouble. That's who Todd is. We of course couldn't change Todd, but we did try to show that his asexuality was not a function of him being a bit of a case for arrested development. Through Todd, the creators of BoJack Horseman were able to portray an asexual character who was both unmistakably ace, using him to educate viewers on the ins and outs of asexuality.
Think of it this way. One could be A, romantic, or B, aromantic, while also being asexual, or B, asexual. So you could be BB or BA. As for me, CAB. See?
But also unmistakably human, having adventures and experiences completely unrelated to his sexuality. This realistic approach resonated with viewers and led to many people finally being able to put a label to their own sexuality.
And so many people came up to me, or have been coming up to me since that came out. It's like, I didn't know what I was. You have given me like a community that I didn't even know existed.
Though Todd's coming out is seen as groundbreaking in the present, Bob Waksberg hopes that Todd, and other characters like him, will bring understanding of asexuality into the mainstream. I would love it if 10 years from now, people look back at BoJack and watch some of our asexual episodes that describe what asexuality is and how it works and the different kinds of asexuals and go, duh, this is so boring. Everyone knows this stuff. Because at the end of the day, that's what representation is for. Educating people, consciously or subconsciously, to try and make a better tomorrow.
Isn't the point of art less what people put into it and more what people get out of it?